Alright everyone, this video here, I wanted to bring up a topic. It's not really, it's more my personal views of what I think what's going to happen in the next generation consoles from Sony and Microsoft. I already have a next gen console, that's the Wii U from Nintendo. And yes, the Wii U is a next gen console. I could care less what you guys think. It's not all about tech. It's about the overall experience you get out of it. And I think most people in general kind of forgot about that. It's not always about tech. It's about the overall experience you get on the device. And why... Here's an example. Okay. People praise, about the iPhone. It's like, oh, look how great the iPhone is. Look how easy it is to use. Look how smooth this is. But under the hood, now of course now it's a little different because guess what? There's a lot more competition. All the manufacturers up there pretty much up their game to essentially the same level as Apple now. And there's a lot of competition out there, so everyone's trying to make the best device out there as possible. But when the original iPhone and then the iPhone 3G came out, a lot of people bought it, but they weren't high-end devices. They weren't the latest and greatest. I mean, hell, the iPhone 3G, for example, had a crappy camera that didn't zoom. It didn't. I don't even think it even had autofocus on the thing. But there were like Android devices out there that were more powerful. But guess what? The experience you got out of it at the time wasn't really that great. Fast forward to 2013, we have great Android devices. We have great Windows Phone devices. Yes, I'm putting that on there too. I think they're really good phones too. And the iPhone 5, it's still a good phone. I personally think it's overrated, but it's still a good product, and I understand why people still use the iPhone. It's because the overall experience is what they like about it. So, when it comes to the gaming console side of things, it's kind of a weird, I'm going to say a weird mess going around. Okay? Here's why I'm saying that. When you look on the cell phone side of things, smartphones, tablets, things like that, primarily smartphones, you have carriers that are changing how they deliver service to you, how they promote their services. Look at T-Mobile, for example. They're one of the big major players out there, and they're one of the first ones to ditch contracts altogether. Sure, you have like the prepaid phones out there, but they're the first major player to ditch contracts and subsidies on cell phones and say, like, you know what? We're ditching all that stuff. We're just doing cheap monthly services for you guys. We'll provide phones for you if you want to pick them, or if you have your own phone, just bring it in, use our service, and that's it. And you know what? That actually makes a lot of sense. I'm with T-Mobile, and I'm on a family plan that is a month-to-month base service. We're not on a contract. So if for some reason we just have to cut it off, we just cut it off and that's it. So when it comes to the game consoles, they're kind of going backwards. We're hearing reports from Microsoft that there's going to be 2 SKUs of the next Xbox. One you buy full outright for $500, and a subsidized model for $300 that they have to sign a 2-year contract to pay Xbox Live for $15 a month for the next 2 years. Now, when you look on Sony's side of things, I'm getting more speculating and just getting this out of my head. But when you start digging deep into it, you'll understand why this is actually starting to make sense what I'm about to say. I truly believe Sony is going to mimic what Microsoft does with their online service. So, Why do I say this? Well, one is they tested the waters with PlayStation Plus. And when it comes to Microsoft's side of things, Microsoft was testing out the subsidized model of the Xbox with the 360 when they touted like as low as $99 for an Xbox 360. Well, that's a subsidized model. You have to spend, you buy the console subsidized, and then you're in a contract for 2 years. On Sony's side of things, they're testing PlayStation Plus. That's their premium paid service for PlayStation Network. Now, what I'm about to say, you might not like, you may think I'm lying, or you know what, maybe what I'm saying right now is just coming out of my ass. But it makes a lot of sense. The PlayStation 4, the fact that you cannot transfer anything over, you're essentially starting from scratch, leaves me to believe that even as far as how PlayStation Network works on the PS4 is starting from scratch. Even to the point that Sony will charge you $10, $15 a month for even the privilege to play games online. And if that happens, both Sony and Microsoft will have a console that you have to pay to play games online. If you're someone that's either on a tight budget or you just don't think you don't think you should be paying to play games like Call of Duty online, $15 a month. What are your other options then? You either got the PC at this point or the Wii U. So, I think that's what's going to happen. I think the next gen Xbox and the PlayStation 4 will have an online service that you're required to pay for, even for the basics for playing games online. And don't be surprised if this comes true. Now, Sony could be smart and says like, no, the basics of playing games online will be free. Though it might be based on the games themselves, but for the most part, it'll be free. But if they are going more towards the Microsoft route, it kind of makes sense. And you know, why give free services when Sony and Microsoft can just charge you? And you guys will be thinking, it's like, oh man, this is the greatest thing ever. And yet you're struggling to pay for all the services because you want to keep playing. So that's my thoughts. When reports comes out about the next Xbox and more information about the PlayStation 4 plus official pricing and all that, I'll make a part 2 of this video. This was more just me speculating what I expect to see from Microsoft and Sony's next generation consoles. What are your thoughts? I would really like to know. Leave a comment down below. Leave a video response. Like this video. And if you're not a subscriber, shame on you. Just hit the subscribe button. I really appreciate it. That's me cracking my knuckles. So, like always, have a good one. And I want to know your thoughts.